Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I have another video. We're gonna work on this lab right here. We're gonna implement DHCP, not just the DHCP, but we're actually gonna do three things. So we're gonna build the network and configure basic device settings, and then we're gonna configure DHCP servers on router 1, and then we're gonna configure router 2 for DHCP relay. So there's nothing built right here. We need to build the network as it's listed right here, the topology. We need to have two switches, two routers, and then two PCs. All right, and then also we need to fill out the IP address for this two. So if you seen my previous video, that video only shows you how to configure DHCP. That's it, and there's nothing because everything, it was a packet tracer, so all the network was already built, so we just had to configure the DHCP. But this one, we need to build a network from the scratch, all the way to implementing DHCP. So it's going to be a really fun video, really interesting. This enforces all the things that you've been learning in this course. So keep watching and keep learning. Let's get started with this one. So I'm gonna start off by reading this background scenario so you have an idea of what's going on here. So the DHCP is a network protocol that lets network administrators manage and automate the assignment of IP addresses. Without DHCP for IPv4, the administrator must manually assign and configure IP addresses, preferred DNS servers, and default gateways. As the network grows in size, this becomes an administrative problem. When devices are moved from one internal network to another, um, in this scenario, the company has grown in size, and the network administrators can no longer assign IP addresses to device manually. Your job is to configure the router 1 to assign IPv4 addresses on two different subnets. Okay, all right. So that's what we're gonna do with this lab right here. Um, let's go ahead and start building out our network here. I'm gonna follow the structure right here, the topology. Um, so let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna delete this. We need two switches, so I'm gonna come here on my left side. And then pick. I'm gonna pick. Um, this is a router. I'm gonna pick 4321. I'm gonna pick two routers. All right, and then over to my switches, I'm gonna pick one, two. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna delete this guy. It says 0, so kind of all right, so we're gonna go over to our end devices, and then I'm gonna select two PCs. I'm gonna do same thing here. I don't like this PC0. Sometimes it confuses you. So, but now you have nice, nice and straight 1 2 1 2 1 2. So, all right. So what we're gonna do? Oh, you didn't see the other side here. So I've got one PC here, another PC. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna move this guy here. Let's do here. Let's say we got one PC right here. We got one switch, one, and this is router 1, and we have a router 2 right here, and then oops, and then we have a switch right here. So kinda can make it something like this, and then I'll put this guy right here. Okay, all right. Now we need to use the cables, obviously, to connect them. I'm gonna use copper straight through from PC1. It's gonna go past Ethernet 0 to fast Ethernet 6, and then I'm gonna from switch number 105 to router 01. All right, and then from router gig O to gig O right here, router 2, and then from router 2 gig 1, and then switch number 2, which is gonna be fast Ethernet 05. It's gonna connect to fast Ethernet 05, and then from switch number 2, which is a fast Ethernet 18, goes to PC 2. All right, so that's the structure right here. We have the topology ready to go. We have our logical setup. So we are good on this side. I'm going to scroll down here and start writing instruction. Build the network and configure basic device settings. Okay, so we already just finished building the network, and then now establish an addressing scheme. Okay, so here's, I think this might be a little bit tricky, but it's pretty straightforward. So we haven't given this IP address, right, to start with, and now subnet A, which is going to be your it's going to support 58 hosts on the client VLAN in router 1. Okay, so this is what this is talking about right here. Clients VLAN 100, and this is on router 1. Okay, so this is router 1. This both are on router 1 actually, the VLAN 100 and 200, management and client. So so our subnet A would be, I would do like 192, copy this, right, copy this, and then since it supports up to 58 hosts, you can just put 1 here, and then so that makes 192.168.1.1. okay, for this guy, for the client VLAN, all right, which is 100. And then for the second one, record the first IP address for table. Okay, yep. And then B, it says one subnet B supporting 28 host. Okay, and that's on the management VLAN. Okay, so the management VLAN, I would do like copy this right all the way here, and then you can add 64.64/27, or is it 64? Okay, so that's gonna be that, and then the last one, the C, subnet C, which supports up to 12 hosts, and this is on client. This is on router 2. So we're on router 2. We're done with the router 1. Now we're in router 2. So for router 1, I would do 192.168.1.96, something like that. Okay, and we have our IP addresses for those A, B, C. So we're done with that. And then, okay, yep, table for one associated gateway, default gateway. Type your answer here. Okay, all right. So, okay, sounds good. All right, now let's move. All right, so attach any topology cable as necessary. Okay, step 3. Configure basic settings for each router. Okay, so we need to configure basic settings. All right, now let's go over. I'm gonna use console cable, and then go over to my switch console. All right, so all right, there you go. Now I'm gonna move this guy right here. All right, now just type no, enable config term, and then we're gonna put host name. This is gonna be router 1. Okay, so now it changed to R1. And then disable DNS lookup to prevent the router from attempting to translate incorrectly entered command as though they were host names. Okay, this is gonna do no IP domain slash lookup. Okay, all right, and then um, assign class as the privileged exit encrypted password. Okay, so enable secret class. Okay, and then uh, assign Cisco as the console password, and enable login. Okay, so line console. You can just type con. You don't have to type 0. And then password. I'm gonna put Cisco, and then login. Login is very important. When you run those two commands, you have to run the login to execute those two commands. And then assign Cisco as the VTY password and enable login. Okay, so line VTY 0 to 4. And then you want to do password Cisco login. Alright. Alright, now we're going to encrypt the plain text password. Service password encryption. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to create a banner that warns anyone accessing the device that unauthorized access is prohibited. And then this is kind of recalls that what we've been doing from the beginning. So this reinforces the knowledge, so which is really awesome. Alright, now save the running configuration to the start of a configuration file. We're going to do copy running. Actually, let's do you can also do like do write memory instead of typing copy running config start of config. This will save it. Alright, okay, so now what we're gonna do is set the clock on the router to today's time. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is you can do clock set whatever time. I'm just gonna put 15:45, and then let's put 27. Let's put 15 Jan 2024. Okay. All right. Now, okay. So now moving to step 4, configure inter-VLAN routing on router 1. Activate the interface gig 1 on the router. Okay, and then B, configure sub interfaces for each VLANs as required by the IP addressing table. Okay, and then C, verify the sub interfaces as are operational. Okay, so let's do that. Let's configure inter-VLAN routing. We're already on router 1, so we'll continue here. So you can do interface /0/1. That's our first one, the client network. And then you can do description. What is it? Client network. And then you need to encapsulation. This is 100. And then IP address, which is 92.168.1.1 255.255.255.192. okay, and then the second one enter 0/0/1.200, the second one, and then let's run a description, which is management network, and then we're gonna encapsulation. This is 200 IP address 192.168.1.65 and 255.255.255.22, I think 4. Yeah, 224 for this one, and then okay, and there's one more. There's native VLAN, which is gonna be int 0/0/1. It's 1,000. Okay, and encapsulation, it's gonna be 1,000 native. Okay, and then you're gonna put description native VLAN. Okay, all right. Okay, so that one's okay. Now let's run. Let's verify the sub interfaces are operational. Okay, all right. Do so IP interface brief. There we go. All right, so those are up. Yep, as you can see. Okay, what happened? Okay, it shows mine is down. Okay, anyway, we'll do this. Let me bring them up. Let me go exit out of this, go into phase 0/0/1 dot. It usually brings it up, but I guess I'll have to. No shutdown. And then let's go into /0/. Okay. Now let's see. Let me go. So IP interface brief. Okay, why it's acting up on me? I don't understand. Those should be up. Oh, you know what? Let me bring this guy up. Interface. There we go. And then I think, yeah, that should do it. Now let me end and go back. So IP interface, right? Yeah, interface. There we go. Now it's up. Okay. Alright, so now it's up. Let me also, this one is also, which one is this one? Okay, this one's up. And then, yeah, that's all I need to bring it up. So, alright. Oh, sorry. I guess. Okay. Alright. Now, let's move. Step 5. Configure this on router and gig 0 static routing for both routers. Okay, this is on router 2. Configure gig 1 on router 2 with the first IP address of subnet CU calculated earlier. Okay. Alright. Now let's do that. This is on 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that there. Just going to go straight to CLI here. Okay. And then move this guy right here. Alright. So, okay, so this is router 2. We're going to do interface // 1, and then IP address. I'm gonna put 2.1.168.1.97. I'm gonna put 97. 255.255.255.240. Okay, and then no shutdown, and exit out of this. Alright, so and then go back to now. Okay, configure interface 1 for each router based on the IP address table above. So let me open up this guy, router 1. So on router 1, you're gonna go config term. You're gonna do interface /0/0 IP address. Just gonna be 0.0.1 255.255.255.252, and then no shutdown. Okay, alright, and then go back to router 2 again. Alright, go back to router 2, and then we're gonna enter gig 0 IP address. It's gonna be 0.0.2 255.255.255.252, and then no shut down. Okay, alright. Alright, so then C says configure a default route on each router pointed to the IP address of gig O on the other router, and then we're gonna verify static is working by pinging, and then save running config to the file. Okay, alright, so I'm gonna, this is my router 2. Let's do this on router 2. It's gonna, let me exit out of this IP route. Okay, gonna put 0.0.0.0.0, and then you put the destination, which is 10.0.0.1. Okay. Alright, now then go back to router 2. Router 2. Out of this IP route. 0.0.0.0.0 10.0.0.2. on the router 1. Okay. All right. Now, let's ping router 2 from here, from router 1. I'm gonna go in this ping 192.168.1.97. Okay, success rate is 80%. If you run that again, it should give you 100%. Alright, good. So it's pinging. Okay, now save the running configuration to startup. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna copy this just in case I don't want to write memory. Config. Okay, say enter. Okay, alright, now step 3, we're gonna configure basic settings for each switch, assign a host name to the switch, disable and that. Okay, and then you can also do the same thing for since I didn't do it, you know, you can configure basic settings for switch 1 like I did for the router 1. It's just similar. Just for the time's sake, I just moved on. So alright, so we're gonna go ahead and do it for switch 1 though. Okay, let's minimize this, and then let's configure for switch 1. I'm gonna yeah, let's just go here. Term host name S1, and then you can do no IP lookup. Class, and then line console 0, new password, Cisco, login. Alright, now we're gonna assign line VTY 024, password Cisco, login. Alright, and then we're gonna encrypt the plain text password in service password encryption, and then we're gonna create a banner. So banner MOTD $sign authorized users only. Alright, now save the running configuration. Exit, copy config, startup, config. Alright, now set the clock. Oops. Clock set 15:45. This is 15 Jan 25. Okay. Now, let me move this guy right here. Okay. Now create a VLANs on switch 1. Alright, let's create a VLAN. And then right here it says note S2 is only configured with basic settings. Okay, so S2 is only configured with basic settings. And basically you do the same thing like I did right here for S2. Okay. Let's go ahead and config term. VLAN 100, gonna name clients, alright, and then VLAN 200, we're gonna name that management, and VLAN 99 999, that's gonna name parking score lot, and then you have VLAN 1000, which is name gonna be native, alright, and exit out of it. Okay, alright, so we're done with this. Alright, let's go B, configure. Alright, configure activate the management interface on S1 using the second IP address from the subnet calculated earlier. Additionally, set the default gateway on S1. Okay, so on S1 you want to go interface, which is VLAN 200. Okay, IP address 192.168.1.66 255.255.254. No shutdown. Exit out of it, and then IP default gateway 2.168.1.65. Oops, that's a wrong right here. So underscores dash. Alright, now C, configure and activate the management interface on S2 VLAN 1 using the second IP address from the subnet calculated earlier. Alright, so this is gonna be on S2. Open up the S2. Alright, now let's log into VLAN 1, and then you want to put IP address 192.168.1.98 255.255.240. alright, then no, you can do no shutdown, and exit out of it, and then default gateway 2.168.1.197. Oh, again, what's wrong here? IP. Okay, now D, assign all unused ports on S1 to the parking lot VLAN. Configure them for static access mode and administratively deactivate them. On S2, administratively deactivate all the unused ports. Okay. Alright, we're going to use the interface range command, which is very helpful. We are going to do interface range, so that's going to be from F0/1 4, and then comma 0/7 24, comma gig 0/1, and we're gonna do okay, 2. Okay, so this is switch number 2. Switch number 2 has one different here because it's not this guy, they're using 7. I'm gonna switch 17, and then you have, so 1 to 4, 17, and then you also have F0/19 to 24, 19 to 20 right here, 24. So, and then you have gig 1 to 2, 1 to 2. Okay, so this is it. All right, let's that entered. Oops. Oh, I forgot to type comma right here. Okay, there you go. And then let me go back to switch number 1, and then I'm also gonna deactivate unused ports here as well. So interface range, this is gonna be F0/1 4 comma /7 24, and then you have 0/1-2. Okay, I think that should be it. Yeah. Okay. All right, now. Okay, now step 8. Assign VLANs to the correct switch interface. A. Assign used ports to the appropriate VLAN. Configure them for static access mode. Verify that VLANs are assigned to the correct interfaces. Why is interface listed under VLAN 1? Okay. Alright, let's do that. So I'm gonna, still in switch 1, we're gonna do out of this and interface F0/6. And then switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN 100. Okay. All right, now let's verify that VLANs. So VLAN brief. Okay. All right. Okay, so 06 default. We have a default. Our clients management, parking lot. Okay, everything's in here. Okay, now why is interface always under VLAN 1? Port 5 is in the default VLAN and has not been configured as an 802.1q trunk. That's the reason why it's under this. It's under VLAN 1 default. Okay, alright. So we're gonna do next, manually configure S1's interface F05 as an 802.1q trunk. Okay. Alright, let's work on that. Interface F0/5. It's gonna be a switch port mode trunk. Okay, now as a part of the trunk configuration, set the native VLAN 2000. Okay, still on switch 1. we're gonna go ahead switch port trunk native VLAN 1000. Okay. As another part of trunk configuration, specify that VLANs 100, 200, and thousands are allowed to cross the trunk. Okay. So we're gonna do switch port trunk allowed VLAN 100, 200, and 1000. Save the running configuration to the start of configuration. Out of this and then copy running config startup / config. Alright. Now verify trunking status. Okay, we're gonna do so interfaces trunk. Alright, allowed. Awesome. Now at this point, what IP address would the PCs have if they were connected to the network using DHCP? I think for that one, I would say they would self-configure. They will have an automatic, IP address in the 169.254 range. All right, now we're done with this. Let's go over to part 2. Configure and verify 2 DHCP version 4 servers on router 1. Okay, so this is on router 1. Go back to my router 1. Alright, and then, okay, now we need to put the password that we created. Just go, and then enable. We also need a password for that. Okay, and then config term. We're gonna go IP DHCP excluded address 192.168, and then we're gonna exclude the first 5 usable addresses for each address pool, so we can go up to 5. So type space and 192.168.1.5. Alright, we're going to exclude those 5 IP addresses from the pool. Then now B is create DHCP pool. IP DHCP pool R1 underscore client underscore LAN. Alright. Now specify the network that this DHCP server is supporting. We're gonna put network 2.168.1.0 and then 255.255.192. Okay. Configure the domain name as CCNA-lab.com. Okay, so domain name gonna be CCNA-lab.com. Okay. Configure the domain. Configure the appropriate default gateway for each DHCP pool. Okay. We're gonna type default router 2.168.1.1. Configure the lease time for 2 days, 12 hours, and 30 minutes. Okay, so lease 12 minute hours, 2 days, 12 hours, and 30 minutes. Okay. Oops, you need a space right here. Oh. Okay, what is going on? EASE 2 12:30. Okay, why it's not taking this? I don't think that's right, but let's put 2:30. Says unrecognized command. Okay, why am I not able to run the lease command here? LEASE 2 12. Put no space. Something's not right. 30. Okay, it's not taking that. Okay, why it's not taking that? Let me see. Anyway, guys, I don't know why this is not taking me. Lease 2:12:30. Some reason it's not working. It keeps saying invalid input. So I don't know what is going on here. I've got the domain. Oh, you know what? I think I don't know if the order matters, because it should be a default router and then domain name. Maybe that's what happened. Let me try to run this again and see if the order matters or not. I'm gonna go. I don't think it should matter, but I'm gonna put default here. Default router is 192.16.1.1, right? And then you have domain name CCNA lab.com, and then you're gonna lease 2:12:30. Still not working. I have no clue. Should I put comma 30? Nope. Yeah, I don't know. It's not working, so I'm gonna skip that lease. Configure the lease time. Gonna go to next. Configure the second pool using the pool name. Okay, so let's head over to the second one. This is still in router 1. Okay, so we're gonna first exit out of this IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.1.197. Oops, not 197, so 97 168.1 we're gonna exclude 97 then 905, right? So 101. Okay, and then IP DHCP pool gonna R2 underscore client underscore LAN. All right, and then network 192.168.1.96 255.255.255.250 and then default router is 192.168.1.7 domain name lab.com. Let's do these. I hope it works here. 212.30. Still not working. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, it's not taking it. Probably the. Let me try this now. I don't know. Maybe it's confusing with 1, because 1 looks same as L. So maybe it's conflicting between that. Maybe it's recognizing that as a the number 1 instead of a letter L. If I do capital, let me actually go ahead and do capital L. See if it will make any difference. No. And even if I type Liz 12, 30, 30, and then question mark, it says unrecognized command. Even if I type this unrecognized command, so I believe it's conflicting between number 1 and the small letter L. It because you can't differentiate between. So anyway, let me know if you've figured it out. So moving to step 2, save the running config to the startup. Okay, and this copy startup config. Alright, now verify the DHCP version 4 server configuration. Issue the command so IP address pool to examine the pool. Let's do that. So IP DHCP pool. Alright, that's our pool right there. Maybe we need to type like least like that. So try that, see if this will work, okay guys? But let me know once you figure it out what happened there, what should happen. And then let's run issue the command so IP DHCP bindings. Alright, okay, and then run so IP DHCP server statistics. So this will examine what happened here. So IP server All right. That one's not even working to me. So IP DHCP server. Yeah, I don't know why that one's not working either. Um, all right, moving to step 4. Attempt to acquire an IP address from DHCP on PCA. Open a command prompt on PC and issue the ipconfig/renew. Okay, so we're gonna go to our PC1. And then let me close this guy. Command prompt. You can go and then type here ipconfig/renew. Okay. All right. And then once the renewal process is complete, issue the command ipconfig to view the new IP information. All right, so new IP information is here. Now test the connectivity by pinging R1's gig1 interface IP addresses. All right, let's ping that. Ping 192.168.1.1. All right, so it's pinging successful. Now configure and verify a DHCP relay on router 2. In part 3, you will configure router 2 to relay DHCP requests from the local area network on interface gig 1 to DHCP server 1. Okay, so let's do that. So on router 2, we're going to go over to router 2 and okay, it says configure the IP helper address command on gig 1, specifying the router 1's gig 0 IP address and save your configuration. Okay. Alright, let's do command boy. I'm gonna close this guy and I'll reopen here. Okay. Enable config term interface 0/0/1. Then we're gonna run IP helper address 0.0.1. Okay. Now save your configuration. Type end here and then type. Okay. All right. Now, step 2. Attempt to acquire an IP address from DHCP on PC B, which is our PC number 2 right here. Let's go to this. Go to command prompt. Let's run ipconfig /renew. ipconfig renew. All right, and then ipconfig. There we go. And then test pinging by. Let's ping 2.168.1.1. All right, so it's pinging. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go. All right, so we are okay. All right, so that's the end of the lab, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna show you something here. I'm gonna go back to my switch 1 and type this command here. What is this? Cisco. I'm gonna show you oops. If you do so run, alright, this is the device config right here. So it's right like that. 2017. Okay, so alright guys, this is the end of the video. That's all I just wanted to show you. We have successfully configured and completed this lab, and thank you again for watching the video.